In the book of Genesis, 13th chapter, starting at the 14th verse. And it says, and reading from the New King James Version, "And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift your eyes now and look from the place from where you are, northward, southward, eastward, westward, for all the land which you see I give you and your descendants forever. And I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants also could be numbered. Arise, walk in the land through the length and its width, for I have given it to you." You may be seated. Just for a thought this morning, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. A blind man walked into Walmart one day with a seeing-eye dog, and he stopped in one of the aisles and reached down and picked the dog up by the tail and began to swing him around and around and around and put him back on the floor again. Someone asked him, what was that all about? And the blind man said, "I was just looking around." That'll sink in a little while. That's what God was instructing Abraham to do in these verses. He said, look, what do you see? Abraham was instructed to look to the north, to look to the south, to look to the east, and look to the west. This pinpoints the spot where Abraham was at that moment. He was right in the middle of four directions came together. That's where you are today. Wherever you're standing in the center point of the earth for you, the points of where you are now is where God can use you, God can bless you, God can change you, God can save you. God wanted Abraham to look where he was. Look from the place where thou art and realize where you are. Before a person can help in any matters or help themselves with any problems, you first got to understand where you are. A lost person have to admit he's a sinner. When a person accepts the truth about being sin, then he can be helped and directed. And my years that I've been in ministry, it was hard for a sinner to admit that he's a sinner. If you're an alcoholic, you have to admit you have a problem in order to be able to get some help. If you're a thief, you have to admit that you're a thief in order to get some help. If you're a liar, you got to admit that you're a liar. If you're an abuser, you got to admit that you're having a problem abusing people. If you're a murderer, you got to admit that you're a murderer. If you're an adulteress, you got to admit that you're an adulterer. If you're a dope addict, you got to admit that you have a problem in order to get some help. This was a sad time for Abraham, because he had came to this land with Lot. And when he came to the land with Lot, he had pitched his tent, but Lot and his herd and Abraham and his herd, they had begun to quarrel, they began to fuss with one another. That even as they were fussing with one another, that now God said, y'all needed to separate. And Abraham was one that went to Lot and said, Lot, I tell you what, you look if you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. And Lot, being the nephew of Abraham, began to look all around. And he looked over towards the east. He looked at the Jordan, and he saw that they have much more water plains over there. It looked much more greener over there. It looks much more appealing over there. So Lot chose the most appealing place to go and left Abraham to go where he needed to go. And sometimes it seems like we're in a lonely journey by ourselves. It seems like our friends have just walked away and left us. It seems like our family members are not with us. It seems as if we're just standing there all alone, like the end of the world had just came about. But here is God telling Abraham to take a look around. Take a look to the north. Take a look to the south. Take a look to the east. Take a look to the west. Yes. And you'll find yourself standing right where I want you to be. See, my first point was look to the north. What is to be seen looking at the north? See, the north was the source of salvation. See, Scripture gives us a reference in Psalms 48:2. It says, great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of God, and in the mountains of holiness. How beautiful the situation and the joy of the whole earth, and Mount Zion on the north side of the city of great kings. That is the source that God was saying to Abraham. Look around, see where you are. Look to the north, or look to God. You're standing at a crossroads. Abraham, all your friends were gone, all your family was gone, except for Sarah. Sometimes God got to put you in a place all by yourself sometimes, just so you could turn around and see where he has you at. And if you ain't been there, guess what? Hang around a little longer. You're going to get there. You're going to get there and you're going to think that something happened to you. You're going to get spiritually sick. And when you get spiritually sick, don't run to some quack doctor, some psychiatrist. He's just going to mess you up. We have to learn how to turn to God and ask God what is in store for us. See, when hardship and depression comes and everybody's going through this, it will hit everybody at one time or another. Be sure you turn to the north. And God said, here I am. Here I am. When you turn to the north and you begin to look at me, here I am. Daniel chose God in his hard times. David chose God also when his brothers were making fun of him. Joseph chose God when his brothers decided they wanted to hurt him. And the devil says, why don't you compromise? Your only source of help is God. Look to the north. You may experience death or may have been shattered by some other experiences, but look to the north. Look to God. Psalms 56:3 says, whenever I'm afraid, I will trust you. In God, I will praise his word. In God, I put my trust. I will not fear. What can flesh do to me? Be on the lookout for the enemy. Be sober. The devil is walking this earth looking to seek and destroy who he can. Your enemy is lurking everywhere, waiting for one of us to get weak enough to step in to destroy us. Oh my God, oh my God. And my second point was look to the south. What's south? The sinner's life.
Jesus.
Egypt represents the old life. Jesus. Egypt represents us being bondage and sin. It says, remember Egypt. Don't go back there. See, we looked at Egypt also in chapter 12 of Genesis. There was a famine that came on the land, and Abraham went to Egypt to try to get some help. He told Sarah, you are a beautiful woman. And when you're so beautiful that when we get over to Egypt, the Egyptians may want to take you. So I need you to tell them that you are my sister. That as you tell them you are my sister and not my wife, because if you tell them you're my wife, they may kill me. That's right. But when we begin to look at Egypt, Egypt represents those things that are not Christian-like. They represent an unsaved life. And sometimes we, as Christians, we forget. We forget what it was like to be unsaved. We forget what it was like when we were out there in the world. We forget that when we were out there in the world, somebody came by and prayed for us. Now, you gotta watch this for a second because it says that God, or the power of God, was in the north, and the south was where the sinful life lived. But if you turned your back on the north and begin to head towards the south, you turn your back on what God is trying to do for you. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! So. We find out when we begin to study a little bit that there was a town called Bethel, and Bethel was in the middle of the south and the north. Bethel and Eli was together. That's where Abraham first pitched his tent, and he pitched his tent right there in the middle. Next to Bethel was Bethlehem. And we know that in Bethlehem, 1900 years later, Jesus was born in a manger. So there he is right there in the middle. And next to Bethlehem was Jerusalem. And because Jerusalem was right there in the middle also, let's not forget how Christ came and died on the cross for us, how he was crucified for us, how he rose on the third day, that we'll have more power. Oh my God, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And see, one of the reasons why you don't hear what I'm saying is because sometimes when things begin to hit us, instead of us looking to the north, we're looking to the south. We forget about how what Christ has done for us, and we look over here and we begin to look at what the world is doing, and we think we need to be over. Oh no, y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. See, I can care less if the church is full or the church is empty. But I'm going to give you what God has told me. Amen? See. Oh my God. See, my next point was you look to the east. What do you see in the east? Separation from the past. See, some of us have to go east to get away. Or we have to get away from our past. Oh my God! Let me say this. Abraham, when he first left home, it was in the east, and God told him to pack his tent and leave his family members in the east. He left his family members in the east and he went over into Bethel. And as he went to Bethel, he pitched his tent. Now, every now and then, some of us We think we want to go back home. We think we want to reach back into our past. We think we want to go back there because if we go back there, we think things will be a little bit better for us. But let me tell you something. Anytime you have a desire to go back into your past, there's nothing but trouble and sorrows waiting on you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You can't go back and make up those years you lost. You can't go back and correct the wrongs that you've done. Some of us can't go back because we just can't go back. Because those same hooks, those same hang-ups are still right there in our past. So there's a separation there where we don't want, oh my God, you don't want to go back to your past. You don't want to go to the east. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And see, it was interesting because Lot, he chose to go to the east. Lot thought that was the best place to go. The grass looked a whole lot greener. Things looked like it was progressing over on the east side. It looked like he'd go over there, it'd just be all right. And he went in that direction. And the word said he went over next towards Sodom. And as he goes over towards Sodom, and Sodom and Gomorrah, before God destroyed it, it looked good. So now he goes over there. And you know what we got to do? We got to continue praying for our family members. We used to have a list that we used to pray for folks on Wednesday night. We had a list for the sick. We had a list that names were just on it, and we just began to pray. Because if you don't pray for your family members and you don't lead your family members to Christ, they're going to die and go to hell. And the problem you're going to have is when you go to the funeral and you stand by that coffin, that as you look there, you're going to wonder in your mind, did they make it to heaven or are they going to hell? The question was, did you lead them to heaven or did you just let them go to hell? See, it's funny because it looks like Lot got the best of the deal. But Lot moved next to some wicked people. And because he moved next to some wicked people, down around chapter 18, you find that Abraham begins to talk to the Lord. Because the Lord said he was getting ready to go over and destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But Lot remembered that his nephew was over there. He remembered that his nephew's family was over in Sodom. He said, Lord, can you spare the city? If you could find 50 righteous. And God said, yeah, I'll spare the city if I could find 50 righteous. So Lot was like, well, how about if we deduct that, take 5 from that? If you find 45, would you still spare the city? God said, yes, I'll spare the city. So Lot was like, He said, Lord, I pray thee, I don't want you to get angry with me, but how about if you just found 40, would you spare the city? See, all along, Abraham was trying to look out for Lot. And sometimes we got to learn how to do that sometimes, and learn how to look out for our family members. He got it all the way down to 10. So Lot and his family was able to get out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So you don't want to go to the east, and you want to remember where you came from. Because once you remember where you came from, you'll be able to help somebody else along the way. See, don't get so tied up or sedity or think that you made it or think that you got it, think that it's all about you. But sometimes you got to reach back and just pull somebody along. I didn't say, go get in their mess. I didn't say go get in their mess. I said just reach back and pull them along. Just help them up a little bit. Help them make it through what you already done been through. Show them the way. Oh my God. Oh my God. You don't have to go back to the east. Don't even get a desire to go back to the east. Just help somebody. Just help somebody. See, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. We got one more place to go. And we got to look to the west. And when we look to the west, what do we see? We see a land of service in the future. See, God has a plan just for us. And when we look to the west, the first thing we notice there's a great sea there, the Mediterranean Sea. And that Mediterranean Sea was on the border of Europe. It was on the east coast of Asia. It was on the south of Africa. It looked like a land of impossibilities, but it was there. And see, what ends up happening, Paul said, I could do all things through Christ. But see, I'm not talking about that. And when we begin to look at that, we begin to say, all Christians cannot do everything. See, you can't do everything and follow God. It's impossible for you to do everything and follow God. It's impossible for you to hang out or be a part of the crowd at work. See, there's people that you can be friends with. You can't be friends with, but you can be friendly with. See, if you start making friends with unsaved people, they will begin to destroy you. They will begin to destroy your walk because they begin to tell you stuff that don't make sense to you. See, the scripture said, can two walk together except they agree? We have to agree with God. God already has a plan set up for us. And because he has a plan already set for us, all we got to learn how to do is find out what God has and planned for us. I love what Hebrews 16:11-6 says, but without faith, it is impossible to please God. For he cometh, God must believe that he is. And he is the water and diligence of them that seek him. See, we have to learn how to seek God and how to please God. Oh my God. See, y'all don't realize I'm done. My last point is this picture of the cross. This picture is the redemption plan of man. See, I said, oh my God. I said, keep your eyes open. And as I began to explain what the north, the south, and the east was, I told you what the middle was. In your vision, you should have been seeing a cross appear right before you. And when you begin to see that cross appear right before you, you know that Jesus is standing in the middle of the cross because he died just for you. And because he died just for you. Now, you're not to take your eyes off of him because he knows you know that you need him in order for you to make it to the next level. Oh my God. See, some people think they're all that and a bag of chips. But I got news for you. If you ain't got Jesus on your side, you're going to run into a whole lot of hell. And when you start running into hell, you're going to wish that you had him on your side. Oh my God. Let me just talk to you for a moment. Because actually, I'm done. So if you're waiting for me to get really, really up there, I done missed it. You done missed it. My point was to produce and show you Jesus. And show you that you need him in every situation. And see, and he says the source of salvation, the power comes from the north, comes from the hills, comes from God. We should always be looking towards God to receive what he has in store for us. We should not be looking to the past. We should not be looking to the south or where we came from. We should not be looking to the east where our family members are, not unless we're trying to help them. We don't want to go back. We want to continue to go forward. See, if you begin to go back, that decreases your ability to go forward. God is calling you to a new place. He's calling you in a higher level. He's calling you for a purpose. He has work for you to do, but he needs you to stay focused on the cross. That as you stay focused on the cross, then he can bring you out of your mess. As he brings you out of your mess, and we all was in mess, and take us and put us on side, put us right in his right, that He put us in His righteousness, and we realize what His righteousness is because we have faith in Jesus Christ, because we have the faith in the love of what Jesus has done for us. Now He's able to work with us. Now He's able to do some things for us. Now we're able to stand on the Word because we realize where our power comes from. We realize where our help comes from. Oh my God. 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 Oh my God.